Okay, cool. All right, y'all. So, welcome to the Content Connection. And today we're going to be talking about the one thing that you are missing, right? The one thing that you're missing that's killing your content. Welcome everybody in. Hopefully, everybody's had a great Monday, a great kickoff to their week. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. So, like I said, Content Connection, where we make content that actually connects. And the number one thing that you're missing in your content right now that's really being very detrimental to your content is real messaging, right? Real messaging, the thing that's really going to actually make everything work together. That's what you're missing, right? It's literally the secret to speaking your client's language, to speaking your audience's language, your ICA's language, your ideal client, whatever you want to call them, right? Your customer. This is like messaging is so necessary, y'all, but we overthink and then we underperform when it comes to how we're actually supposed to be speaking to them, the type of content that we should actually be making, right? So tonight, I wanted to put out an example of basically like my seven strategies on how to basically get you to making the right type of content that's going to perfect your messaging, right? But before I even get into it, the situation is like this, right? If you look at all these different words, or rather letters, right? And we look at this like this, right? Imagine if you text this to someone, right? Imagine if you text this to someone they don't have any clue, right? What you're actually saying, right? They have no clue what you're actually trying to articulate to them. They just see different letters. It isn't until you actually make it and put it together where they understand, oh, that's what you really mean. And it's the same thing with your content. You might be trying to let people know that you have this thing going on. You might be trying to let people know that you do this, but because your messaging is off, people only see what they see. They can't actually really, your messaging is off. So when you're speaking to somebody, they don't actually know what you're trying to say, right? That's why messaging is going to be so necessary for when you're making the type of content. So in this messaging, right, there's 7 steps to actually making the right type of video, quote unquote, because there's so many different ways to do it. But here's just 7 different steps in a video that will allow you to not only perfect your messaging, right, master your messaging, but make it super easy for someone to know what are the next steps after. Because we don't want to just make content, but we want to make content that's going to convert for us. We want to make content that's actually going to build up our business and not only be valuable to them, but also be valuable to us, right? We want to make content that connects, but we also want to make currency off of the content that we're creating, right? So first thing, you want to start with your idea, right? But I'll say all 7 of them right now. You have your idea, you have your problem, you have your solution, you have your hook, you have your message, you have your example, and then you also have what I would rather just call your CTA, right? Your call to action, right? So for this, you have your idea. Your idea is having an idea for your video is important, so you know what you conceptually want to create, right? So for this example, because the last person I just did it with, he's a trainer, he owns a gym, right? And the thing that he does, and let's just say for this example of the video, we want to talk to somebody who wants to learn how to squat, right? So for our idea in this particular instance, right, for this example that I'm about to put, is somebody who wants to learn how to squat. Cool, right? So that's our idea. I want to make a video for somebody who wants to learn how to squat. What is the problem? So now I have to make up, what is the problem that this person, that the actual client that I want to work with, or my ideal client, my customer, my consumer, whatever, what is the problem they're actually having, right? This works just for y'all business, just the same for somebody who doesn't know how to make a t-shirt, doesn't know how to start their brand, or it might be a certain occasion and there's a problem in that situation. The problem is they need this particular thing and they don't have this particular thing. So now you're going to be able to provide that solution. Same thing. So for my person who wants to learn how to squat better, right? One of the problems that they have is that one of the problems they have is that they're squatting in the wrong type of shoes, right? They're squatting in the wrong type of shoes. You can't squat in every type of shoe. So my idea is about my idea for the video is somebody who's squatting, right? Wanting to learn how to squat. The problem that they're having is they're squatting in the wrong type of shoes, which is causing knee pain, which is causing back pain, right? What is their solution though? What is the solution? What is the solution to someone's problem? What help are you providing in your video or your value? And then what strategy or tactic are you providing, right? In this particular instance, for the person who is squatting, I want to say, if you're squatting in these shoes, right? This particular shoe is causing the problem. The solution is squatting in the right type of shoes, right? So somebody's going through they have back pain, all this stuff from squatting. How do you perfect their form, right? Before we even talk about form, some of the easiest things to say is to just, what are they actually squatting in? So let's just say they're talking about, like I said earlier, we're going to talk about their shoes. So the solution to their problem is squatting in the right type of shoes, right? So in that, I can show up a picture of these are the type of shoes you want to be squatting in. Right? What's the hook? The hook is the vital part of your video. This is the thing that's going to actually grab somebody's attention, right? You have 3 to 5 seconds to be doing it, right? So I could easily say that, easily give it something like this. Like, weirdly enough, if you're squatting in these shoes, this could actually cause more harm. This could actually be more harmful than helpful, right? Or if you're having back pain, it's probably because you're squatting in these shoes. Right? That type of hook right there. And then it's going to speak to anybody that I want to talk to, right? Or if you're having back pain, you probably should stop squatting in these shoes, right? And this is the particular thing that I want to pull somebody's attention to. And like I said, you can use this for any particular thing. What's the message? So the message is you have to confirm to the viewer in this part, right? The reason why they clicked on your video or the reason why they stopped scrolling to watch your video is true, right? And so now it's basically being able to add in a little bit of more support to this type of thing. And you don't need all 7 steps, right? It's just something that kind of adds in something where you can basically say that squatting in the right type of shoes not only supports your knees, but it takes pressure off your lower back and allows you to have a better form, right? Or to have the proper form. And now you're able to give some more context to what you're saying. It's a little background. You could use whatever you want to use for it. And anybody who has any questions, please drop them in the comments for whatever your particular thing is. And I can kind of help you kind of form, whatever you want to make content for. But because I know I'm talking about something that might be, a little may or may not make sense for what you're trying to do in this example. So I could help you with a better example. But basically your messaging, the message part is you want to make sure that whatever they signed up for when it comes to this video is that you're actually providing the value that you say you're going to provide. That's really it. You're fulfilling your promise. And then the example, right? So you're actually providing a real life situation that this person could be facing. This part makes it more simple for someone to understand. And you can easily say that it's better to be wearing these, show the example of this, than this because of whatever. Right? And your call to action could be, let's say I make shoes that are better to squat, and I could tell people to, call to action could be to give them have a link where they can go, check out the shoes that we actually make specifically for squatting, right? And then they also get the take-home message of these type of shoes right here is going to help you in the long run if you're trying to lift for longevity versus, for whatever. Some people lift and they're lifting in Jordans and all this other stuff, and it might not be the best type of shoe to be doing it in versus actually, a specific shoe that's made for that. Right. But that's the 7 quick steps that makes a video super easy. And when it actually comes to this kind of covers like creation with the creation. But if we're being honest, like the idea, super easy to have an idea, right? That's super easy. Come up with an idea, come up with a problem that somebody that you want to speak to specifically in this video is supposed to be having, right? You come up with that particular problem that you already know the solution to. Then you provide the solution, right? But before we even get into this particular part, the hook is the first 3 to 5 seconds to get somebody to stop the scroll and actually watch the video, right? So I could say that for this instance, the thing that's really killing your content, what did I even want to say? The thing that you're missing that's killing your content right there, boom. The thing that you're missing that's killing your content is messaging, right? Here's the number one thing that's killing your content. Here's the number one thing that you're missing that's killing your content. You're going to want to know what's the number one thing. Now I get to tell you, your problem is messaging. You don't know how to articulate to your client, your customer, your ideal client, your audience, whatever it is, about what you can actually provide for them. Boom. What is your solution? Come watch my live on Monday called The Content Connection, where I actually break this thing down in 7 easy steps where you can follow to actually help you create better content, and not just better content, but content that's going to convert, right? Y'all see how this stuff flows? Right? And in that, I already talked about my messaging. What is my messaging? You're going to learn how to actually use 7 steps to make content that's going to help your content become better, but not only better, but content that's actually going to connect for you. An example, call to action, whatever, right? These kind of things, I know how to like intertwine them so it doesn't always feel super salesy. It can just kind of feel like, oh, he's giving me an opportunity to learn how to do what I want to do. Right? But that's just because I use this thing and I understand short form content. You only have a certain amount of time. The best thing to get it in is between 1 and 36 seconds, right? 59 seconds is the max that you got. But if you can condense it down to to less, the better, because a lot more people are going to spend 30 seconds with you, right? Then somebody's going to spend a whole minute with you. And if you don't pull them in with a 3 to 5 seconds to even make them curious, the first thing of this thing is you want to create the curiosity. Then you want to hook them with the hook. You want to create the curiosity with the hook, right? You want to let them know about their problem, give them their solution, then make it very easy for them to understand how to apply what you just showed them. And then you want to give them a call to action for it. That could be to follow you for more content like this. That could be make sure that you put in your calendar at 8 p.m. so that you don't miss the next content connection, right? Or and that's just your call to action. So there's so many different ways that you could be maneuvering this in your own way. It doesn't always have to be a sell. I tell people all the time that it doesn't always have to be a sell. Sometimes you just want to have your content doesn't always have to be selling. It can also be serving, right? And so this particular thing is the best way to start forming your community, letting people know what you do. Because I say all the time, people have to buy into you before they buy from you. People love shopping with friends, but they hate buying from strangers, right? Same way, like on Amazon, you trust Amazon, but you don't trust the person you don't trust the company or the person, if you never bought from them before, that's selling you the product. So you'll go down to the feedback. You'll go down to the ratings. You want to see what people are saying about this product before you buy it so that you have like and trust, right? You need social proof. It's the same way, right? It's so much easier for somebody to shop with a brand that everybody already loves. Like, it's nothing for somebody to buy something from Nike. It's nothing for somebody to buy something from Louis Vuitton. It's nothing for somebody to buy something from Gucci because it's a brand that's already trusted. So tell me why somebody would buy something. Tell me why somebody would rather spend their money with you versus them. Because you might have a different messaging. You might be talking to a specific type of person. All these different things is why you need the content though, because you have to build up the like and the trust. So if you're not making the type of content that is going to connect with your people, if you're not making the type of content that has this type of messaging, right? Don't make it super complex. There's 7 steps. The first idea is super easy. That's not even in that you don't even have to make that in the content. That is just an idea, right? Then you say, okay, what's the problem? I can come up with another example, right? I want to teach creatives how to make content. Okay, so that's my idea. So I know that the video is going to be about a creative who doesn't know how to make content. Got it. What's their problem? They don't know anything about messaging, right? What's their solution? I'm going to show them I'm going to show them a seven-step process where it's super easy to plug in. Where it's super easy to plug in all of the things that they need to tell their audience. Okay, what's their hook? My hook is going to be the thing that you're missing that's killing your content, right? And I could have said the one thing, right? But the thing that you're missing that's killing your content, right? Pulls them in. Then I can go in, then I can show them what the messaging is, show them the steps. In this case, y'all seeing the steps right here. It's the 7 steps, right? And I'm giving y'all the explanation already, and I'm giving y'all all these different examples. So that's already within the context of this thing, right? Y'all see what I'm saying? Does this make sense to everybody? Does this make sense? Because the content part of this stuff isn't difficult. And I don't try to make it difficult. I try to make it very straightforward. It's just understanding very acute things, which allows you to create something really big once you understand small things, right? Small steps create big distances, right? Or great distances, rather. Small steps creates great distances. So all you have to do is understand what your idea is going to be, who you're going to talk to, right? What is their particular problem? So now you're fencing out anybody who doesn't have that particular problem because you have the solutions for that particular problem. I wouldn't be talking to people who already know how to make content. Why? Because my solution is to show people who don't. My goal isn't to talk to the people who already know how to, right? If you already know how to make content, then that particular community, which I do work with, but that particular community needs to know how to monetize, needs to know how to make currency from their creativity, right? For me, y'all aren't that, right? For me, that's not y'all. That's not necessarily who I'm speaking to. So I want to speak to the people who need to know how to make content, right? Or aren't necessarily making content, and then basically poke at you and figure out why aren't you making the content so that I can create content to help you make content. That makes sense? That's what the whole content connection is about. And it works because when you watch this thing, you feel like I'm talking to you because I am. Because you're going through these particular problems. You have these particular situations. That's why I'm able to build the audience and connect with y'all, which is why I call this content connection. See how everything flows? This is how you make a content funnel. Everything has to be strategic, and your strategy is a long-term play, but your tactics can change, and you figure out what thing works, what doesn't work. A lot of times we get so stuck in doing the exact same thing over and over again, and then we're like, why isn't this thing working? Well, you ain't trying nothing new, right? So it's all about changing and figuring out what are the little small things that need to happen. What are the small things I need to learn? What are the things I need to plug in, right? Because you might be the great. I say it all the time. Y'all know it's my motto. It's my go-to. You might be the best at what you do, but nobody knows what you do. And the reason why nobody knows is because you haven't showed them. Right? You have to show them. You have to show them what you're capable of. You have to show them how you can actually help 100% with this one. Your audience needs to understand what you can give them, or how you can help them. Your message must connect successfully with your target audience. 100%. 100%. This is what this is all about. And like I said, the whole goal is to make this as simple as possible. The one thing that for me personally took me the most time is just to figure out how to start making engaging hooks to make somebody stop. I knew how to do everything else, but now once you understand how to make an engaging hook, right? And the hook is the most important part, because that's what makes somebody watch your video, and that's letting them know and speaking directly to them and saying that the one thing that's killing your business right now is because you don't know how to this, or the one thing that is yada 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 is because of this, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but you know how to articulate who you're trying to talk to, right? You know what your messaging is for your people. You have to figure out what's your voice for your people. Okay, but the hook is literally just about connecting with those people and giving them something that's going to make them want to stop. The best way is to know what their problem, who you're trying to talk to, what that topic is going to be about, the problem that you want to solve for them with your solution. And then once you know those three things, the hook is very simple. You put the hook right before the problem and solution you're giving them, and then everything just flows amazingly, right? And the better you get at it, the easier, and the more leads, the more prospects, the more people, the more clicks that you start seeing, not only on your content, but also going to your Shopify, right? And here's where our call to action would be. If you want to learn more about this type of content and actually how to make content that converts, not just content in a general sense of how to get better at it, but actual real content that's going to convert for you, then go ahead and make sure that you're signing up for the Shopify challenge, because my part, the part that I play in the Shopify challenge, is helping you get more people over to your Shopify store. Once you get your store set up, right, you got to have people getting there. What's the easiest way to use it? Is using free content and use it as content marketing to get people over there. But before people can get over there, they got to see what you're capable of doing. They got to even know that you even got a Shopify store. They got to even know that you're even making the t-shirts, even making all of the designs, all these different things, right? And once you got a place where people can buy it, you got to create a funnel to get people over there. So we help you create a content funnel using different examples such as this, right? So make sure that you guys and girls, right, or more so guys and gals, because I like to make sure that I include women when I say it, instead of saying y'all or guys, that I say guys and gals. But make sure that y'all go ahead and click that link and sign up for the Shopify challenge. Can't wait to see y'all. Hopefully this is helpful for y'all. I don't want to take up any more time, because I know you can make more content, you can make more currency, but you just can't make more time. So I appreciate y'all and everything that y'all do for this community. And I'll see y'all next Monday. Peace.